Hello everyone, welcome to ATM Programming Solutions. So today we are going to create an employee management application from the scratch where we will cover all the CRUD operations. For example, add employee, view employee, update the employee, then delete the employee and view all employees. So these 5 operations we will cover. So the agenda for the video will be, first we will create a basic application which will cover this all CRUD operations. After that we will try to add some more complex operations. For example, we will write the methods to get the employees based on their department, or we will write some logic to get the employee on basis of their salary, like maximum salary employee, minimum salary employee, or the employee whose salary is greater than something. So like that we will print some more statistics. So after that we will create the same application using a Java 8 features, and at last we will connect our application to the database. So this is so today we will cover a basic CRUD operations. So let's start the video. Here I have created 3 classes. First one is a main class which contain our public static void main method, and the second class is employee class. In this employee class, means this is the Pojo class where we have all the details of the employee. For example, this fields ID, this is the employee ID, then employee name, employee age, designation, department and salary. So inside this employee class we will write all the getter setter methods. So these are all getter setter methods for each and every field, and then we will write one toString method and then structure with all the fields. You don't have to do this manually, you can just right click here, and in this source you will get options to generate the toString method, then generate a getter setter method or toString method. Whatever you want to generate, that you can just do the right click source and generate. Okay, so our Pojo class is ready with all the things. The next is the employee service class. So in this employee service class we will write the logic for each and every operation. For example, if we want to add the employee, then what will be the logic? That logic we are going to write inside the employee service class. Okay, so these 3 classes we have. So here I have created one hash set where we are going to store all the details of the employee, because currently we are not connected to any database. So to store the employee details we have used this collection framework, and here I have created a 4 employee details, and then inside this employee service constructor I have added all these things into the created employee set. Okay, so this is the basic thing which I have already did just to save our time. Then in the main method, whenever we will run the application, we want to see the menu where it is like welcome to employee management system, and then all the choices like add employee, view employee, update employee, whatever operation we want to perform, we just have to give the number and then we can perform the operation. So let's see how we can do this thing. Inside this main class, here we have written one menu method which is a static method which contain the menu, and for all these 6 operation we will going to use a switch and the do while loop. So here I am writing do while loop. So do, here we will pass the ordering which we already have declared here as a true. Okay, so this is our do while loop, and inside this we are going to use the switch statement. Okay, so this is our switch case. So for each and every operation we are going to write a cases here. So 6 case we required, and here we will pass the choice. So this choice we haven't declared yet. So here first create one scanner class so that user can able to enter the input. So this is the scanner class from java.util package. Then sc is equal to new scanner, and here we will write system.in. Okay, now we will ask user to enter the choice. So here we will write int id is equal to sc dot next int. Okay, before that, here, sorry, int choice. Okay, before that we will write one sysout statement, and we'll write the instruction to the user, enter your choice. Okay, so here we will write the first case, which is for adding the employees. So sysout add employee, and then break. Here we are just creating a template, then we will write the logic. Okay, so 6 cases we required, so just I am pasting the same 6 times, and the last one will be for the default. Okay, so first case is for adding the employee, second is to view the employee, third is for updating the employee. So update employee, then delete the employee, and fifth will be for view all employee, and sixth one is to exit the application. Whenever user will exit the application, that time we will show them the message, thank you for using application. Okay, and how we can exit from the application, here we can write system dot exit, and here we will pass a 0. Okay, and if user is entering anything other than these 6 cases, that time we will write one default case, and here we will write the message for the user, please enter valid choice. Okay, so this is a basic template. Now it's ready. Add the employee, then view, update, delete, view all employee, and exit. Okay, so this all the cases are ready. Just we will run the application, and we will see what is the output. Okay, so here it is showing directly enter your choice, but it should show this thing. Okay, so why it is not showing? Because we have written a static method where we have written this welcome screen and all these operations, but we haven't called this method anywhere. So here in the do we have to call the method. Okay, so now it should show us the menu. See here, we are able to see welcome to employee management application, and this 6 operations, enter your choice. Okay, so here just we will exit from the application because we haven't written the logic to add the employee or anything. So let's write the logic. In this employee service, we already have created the employee set, and 4 employees are present inside this employee set. So let's see how we can print the details of all the employees, means how we can view all the employees. Okay, so for that we will write a method here. This is for view all employees. So method will be public void view all EMPs. Inside that we have stored all the employee details inside the hash set. So here we will write a for loop employee EMP, and we will take these employees from the EMP set and just print here. Okay, so that's it for the view all employee. By using this for loop, it will take all the employees from the employee set, and here we are printing that employees. So I have saved this, and in this main we have to call this method view all employee. Okay, so to call this method, first we have to create the object of this employee service class, so that through that object we can call the method. So inside this main we will create the object for this employee service class. Employee service is equal to new employee service. Okay, now using this service object we can call the method. So here view all employee is at case 5. So here I will write service dot view all EMPs. Okay, so now whenever user will enter a 5, they should able to see all the employees which we have added inside the employee set. So let's run the program and see. So here we can see. So here I will enter the choice as a 5 to view all the employees, and here we can see all the employees. So we have added 4 employees in the employee set, so we will able to see the 4 employees. Okay, so now here we are able to see all the employees, but if user want to see only one employee, for example if user want to see the employee whose ID is 101, then how they can see the employee? Let's see. So here I will enter 6 and exit from the application. Now we want to view the employee based on their ID. Okay, so here only we will write that view employees based on their ID. So here let's write the method public void view EMP. We want to view employee based on their ID. So here we have to, okay, 1 minute, why we are getting this error? Public void is an invalid type for the variable view emp. Okay, sorry. So this is a method, and method should be with this brackets. Okay, so here we want to view the employee based on their ID. So here we will write sc dot based on their ID. So yeah, we have created already a scanner object, and now we want the ID from the user. So here we will write one message for the user, enter ID. Okay, and then ID is equal to sc dot next int. Then here we will write a for loop to check the employee. So here we will get all the employees from the employee set, and then we will check is this ID which is entered by the user is same as the ID which is present in the employee set. Means it will check is there any employee whose ID is the ID which is entered by the user. Okay. So for that we will write if condition if emp dot get ID is equal to the ID which is entered by the user, then print the detail of that employee. Okay, and once we found, means if we found the employee whose ID is the ID which is entered by the user, then here we will set this found variable to the true. Okay, initially it is false. So okay, we haven't declared this variable, so let's declare here. This is a boolean variable found and it will be false initially. Okay, so here we can declare this boolean boolean found is equal to false, and here okay, so no need to declare here again. Here we will do a true. So if the employee is present, it will print the details of that employee. But if there is a no employee whose ID is the means the where whichever employee, if there is a no employee with this ID, then we have to print the message. So here we will write if not found, then what we have to do, we have to write the message employee with this ID is not present. Okay, so let's call this method from the main method. Here we are viewing the employee based on the ID. So service dot view employee. Now when we will enter a option as a C or choice as a 2, that time we will able to view the employee. Okay, so just run the application and we can able to see this. So let's first I am entering a 5 so that we can view all the employees, and now we want to view the employee whose ID is 102. Okay, so here I will enter choice as a 2, and here it is asking to enter the ID, so I am entering 102, and for the 102 this is the details. This is for the Meena, age 26, designation CO, department tester. Okay, so these details are mismatched, I think. Inside this employee service class we have to change these details. Okay, so here it's a designation and then department. Okay, so same thing. Yes, so now let's run the program again because the details were mismatched. Okay, so let's see all the employees first, and then we want to see the employee whose ID is 102. So now for this 102 employee, the name is Meena, age is 26, designation tester, department CO, and salary is 57,000. Okay, so this way we can view the employee based on their ID. Now we are done with two operations, view the employee based on ID and view all employees. Okay, now let's see how we can update the employee. So inside this employee service method, let's write the method to update the employee. Okay, next operation will be update the employees. So method will be public void update employee. So here also first we need to take the ID from the user which they want to update. Okay, so here ID is equal to sc dot next int, and before that one message for the user, enter ID. Once user will enter the ID, we will check, means we will search that employee inside our employee set. So for that we are using the for loop employee emp and emp set. So here we will check same way by using the if condition. If emp dot get id is equal to the id entered by the user, then we are going to update. Okay, here it's the method get id. Okay, so here if this both are matching, then only we are going to update emp dot get id. Okay, so how we can update? Means we have the id, employee name, designation, department, age and salary. Okay, so here we will try to update employee name and the salary. So first we will ask user to enter name which they want to update, then name is equal to sc dot next. Next we will ask user to enter updated or a new salary, then sal is equal to sc dot next double. Okay, so these two values we are updating here. If you want to update all the values, same way you have to write, and you have to ask to the user for each and every detail for that employee. Okay, now this name and the salary is updated. So we have to set this updated values. So emp dot set name, and here we will pass this name. Then emp dot set salary, and here also we will pass this salary. Okay, and now we will print the updated details of that employee. So here updated details of employee are, here we will print that employee. Okay, and once we print the employee, again we have to set this found variable as a true. After this for loop, here we will check the same thing. If that employee is not found, then message for the user, employee is not present. Otherwise, if we found the employee, then employee details updated successfully. Okay, so this way we can update the details. Now let's call this method. Update is for the case 3, service dot update employee. Now let's run the application, and first let's see all the employees, and then we want to update the employees based on their ID. So update employee, I am entering a 3 as a choice code, and we want to update the value of this employee 101. Okay, so here I will enter 101. So it is asking for the new name. So previously the name was Sheetal, and now if we want to update as a Sheeta, then we want to update the salary. So currently what is the salary for the Sheetal? 25,000, and now we want to update that to 35,000. Okay, so here see, updated details of the employee are, now for this ID 101, name is Sheeta and the salary is 35,000. Employee details updated successfully. Okay, and now let's see the other scenario for the same 3. If we want to enter a choice 3, update the employee. Okay, here we have to enter the employee ID. Now we have 1012334, but we don't have a 200 as a employee ID. So if user enter 200, then user should able to see a message, this employee is not present. Okay, so let's see if we are able to see that message or not. So see here, we are getting the message employee details updated successfully. Okay, so here we are not getting that message employee is not available. So let's see why we are not getting the message. So here we have checked this, if not found then employee is not present, otherwise employee details updated successfully. Okay, so here we have to actually declare this variable boolean found, and initially it will be false. Okay, and then here we are declaring it as a true, and then we are checking. So now let's run the application and see if we are getting the result or not. Okay, so let's see all the employees first, and now we want to update the employee 101. So here enter the name, let's suppose Sita, and salary we want 35,000. And if we want to see that now, so see here, updated the details of the updated detail of the employee are, so name is Sita now and the salary is updated to 35,000, and here we are getting the message. Okay, now let's enter one ID which is not present in that employee set, for example 200. Okay, and now we can able to see the message employee with this ID is not present. Okay, so this is the expected behavior. So now we are done with view employee, update employee, view all employee. Now let's see how we can delete a particular employee. Here we will write a logic to delete the employee. Public void delete the employee. Here again we have to write a message for the user. Enter ID which they want to delete. So id is equal to sc dot next int for employee emp set. Here we will check if emp dot get id is equal to id, then we want to delete that particular employee. Okay, so for that here we will declare one variable employee emp delete, which is initially null. Okay, and if we found some employee whose id is matching, then here we will write means we will make that emp delete variable is equal to emp. Okay, and then after this here we will check if, so okay, here we have to declare that variable boolean found, initially it will be false. If we found any employee with this ID, here we will delete that employee and put that found, we set that found to true. Here we will see if not found, then employee is not available. Else we will delete that employee. So how we can delete? Emp set dot, we have this remove method where we are passing this employee delete variable. Okay, and then we'll write one message, employee deleted successfully. So this is the logic for delete employee. So now let's call this method here, service dot delete employee, and now let's run the application. So here first see all the employees. Now if we want to delete the employee, now currently we have 4 employees, okay, and we want to delete one employee whose employee ID is 104. So here we will enter choice as a 4 and employee ID as a 104. So employee deleted successfully. This is the message which we are getting. So if other scenario, here we want to delete the employee whose ID is 200, but that employee is not present. Okay, so that's the reason we are getting a message employee is not present. So now we are done with view employee, update employee, delete the employee and view all employee operations. Only one operation is pending, which is add employee. So let's see how we can add the employee. So here we will write a method. This is for add employee. So public void add emp, and here we want to add the new employee. So we have to ask to the user each and every detail of that newly added employee. Okay, so let's write enter ID for that employee, then ID we will set sc dot next int, then enter name for the employee, name is equal to sc dot next, then enter age, age is equal to sc dot next int, then enter the designation, designation is there or first, okay, no problem. So here we will write enter designation, designation is equal to sc dot next, and the last one is enter the department. So department is equal to sc dot next, and the one is remaining again, enter the salary for that employee, sc dot next double. Okay, now we want to update all this, sorry, we want to add these details into our employee set. Okay, so how we can add? First we will create one more employee emp is equal to new emp, and here we have passed all the variable or all the values which we have taken from the user. Okay, so this id, name, age, designation and department, salary. Okay, so these are all things which we have taken from the user. Now we have to add this to our employee set. So how we can add? Emp set dot add, and here we will pass this employee which is newly created. Okay, so this way we can add the employee, and here we will write one message: employee added successfully. Also we will print the employee which is added. Okay, so first we will print the employee and then we'll print the message. Now here let's call that method service dot add employee. Now let's execute the program and see if we are getting the expected output or not. So here first let's see all the employees, then we want to add the employee. So one, currently we have 4 employees, so now we are adding one more with the ID 200. Then name we will keep as a Nina, age 26, designation let's keep developer, department admin, then salary 45,000. Okay, so see here the new employee is added with the ID 200, and these are the details. Here we are getting the message as well, employee added successfully. Now if we enter the choice code as a 5, then we can see 5 employees, previous 4 and newly added this one whose ID is 200. So this way we have covered all the operations. Add employee is done. Now if you want to view the employee whose ID is 200, then here see we will get the details of the employee whose ID is 200. Then if we want to delete this employee, then here we will enter a choice code as a 4 and employee ID as a 200. Employee deleted successfully. Now let's see how many employees are there. Now we have deleted one, so now we should see 4 employees. Okay, so these are the 4 employees and one is deleted. So this way we have covered all the operations: add employee, view employee, update, delete, and all the operations we have covered. So 6 one is exit. So just I am entering the 6 and now I am out of this application. Okay, I hope this video is useful for you. You understood all the things. Just try yourself and create this application. So in the next video we will try to add some more operations other than this CRUD operations, and then we will create the same application using Java 8 features. Okay, so please subscribe to the channel so that you will get all the notifications and you can share the video with your friends. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome to ATM Programming Solutions. So today we are going to create the ATM machine project in Java. So functionality will be like whenever any user will use this application, very first they have to validate themselves on their ATM based on their ATM number and the PIN number. And if they are entering the correct ATM number and PIN number, then only they will come inside the application. Otherwise, they will get the message incorrect ATM number or PIN. Okay. The second one is once user is validated themselves, then they will able to perform the following operations, like any user can check what is the current available balance in their account. Then if they want to withdraw some amount, then they can withdraw. If want to deposit some amount, then also they can deposit. And fourth one is to view the mini statement. Mini statement means like how much amount you have withdrawn, how much amount you have deposited. So that like a summary you will get in the mini statement. Okay, and last one is to exit from the application. So this is our ATM machine. Now let's run the project and see. So here it is asking to enter the ATM number. So I have configured the ATM number as a 123 and ATM pin as a 123. So when I will enter 123, then only it will allow me to enter inside the application. Okay. If I enter any other 1234 or any other number, then it will not allow me to enter inside the application. Okay. Now let's exit from the application and I will show you that enter ATM number. So here I am entering 1234 something. Okay, so this is not the correct credentials, so here we are getting wrong ATM number or ATM pin message and application is exited. Okay, now let's run the application again and here now enter 123 123. So these are the correct credentials. We are inside the application and we can perform these operations. So very first one is to check the available balance. If we enter the one, so currently we have not deposited anything, so available balance is 0. Okay, now let's deposit some amount. So for deposit amount we have the option as a 3. Okay, so we have entered the 3 here and now let's deposit 10,000. So once we enter the amount, we will get the message 10,000 deposited successfully in your account. Okay, and available balance is now 10,000. Now if we want to withdraw some amount, then we will enter 2 and let's suppose I want to withdraw 2000. Okay, so once I withdrawn 2000, so here we will get the message collect your cash and now the available balance will be 8000 as we have withdrawn 2000. Okay, now let's suppose we want to withdraw some more amount, then here enter 2 and 5000, sorry 500. So again here we have collected 500, so available balance will be 7500. Okay, again if we want to deposit some money, then let's enter the choice as a 2. Okay, 2 is to withdraw the money. So now here if we withdraw, let's suppose 200, then here see we are getting the message please enter the amount multiple of 500 only, because here we have written the logic like in this machine the only the cash is available in multiple of 500. Okay, so that's why 200 will not allowed. So let's enter 2 and now withdraw 5000. Okay, so currently we have withdrawn 5000. Now available balance is 2500. So let's suppose we want to withdraw some amount which is greater than available balance, then what will happen? So here we have entered 2. Currently we have 2500, but we want to withdraw 5000. So here we will get the message insufficient fund to withdraw. Okay, so these are the checks we have provided in our application. And now if we want to view the mini statement, so we will enter 4 and here see very first we have deposited 10,000. So after that we have withdrawn 2,000, then withdrawn 500, after that we have taken 5,000. Okay, so this is the like summary of how much amount you have deposited and how much you have taken. So if we want to come outside the application, we will enter 5 and it will give us a message collect your card and thank you for using the ATM machine. Okay, so this is the overview of our application which we have created. Now let's start with the coding. and we are going to develop this application in core Java using all core Java concepts. Okay, so let's start with the video. So here we have created the ATM machine project, and inside this ATM machine project we have this ATM class. Okay, and this is our main class which contain the main method. Okay, so very first in our ATM class, let's create the variables which we required. Okay, so very first we required private double balance, okay, to see the available balance, and after that we need private double deposit amount, so deposit amount, and then private double withdrawn amount. Okay, so these are the three fields we require. Now we have to write the getter setter for each method. Okay, and default constructor. Okay, so very first let's create here the default constructor. Okay, so how we can create the constructor? Public and the class name. This is the default one, so we are not providing any parameters here. Okay, getter setter methods we can just write, or we can generate here getter and setter methods for all the fields. Okay, so now we are ready with the getter setter and our default constructor. Okay, so see here. Now let's go to our main class. So this is our main class. Okay, so first operation was to validate the user based on their ATM number and the ATM pin. So here I am going to write ATM number is equal to 12345 and int ATM pin as 123. Okay, so this we have hard coded here. So whenever anytime we have to enter the ATM number and ATM pin as 12345 and 123. Okay, so ATM number and ATM pin we are going to ask to the user. So let's create the scanner object. Scanner in is equal to new scanner, and here system dot in, and we have to ask to the user. So enter ATM number, and let's keep it print. Okay, and we will ask here to the user. So int ATM number is equal to in dot next int, and after that same message enter pin. So this will also, let's keep print, and here int pin is equal to in dot next int. Okay, so now user has entered the ATM number and ATM pin. Now let's write the condition to validate. So if ATM number, ATM number which we have configured here is same as the ATM number entered by the user, so ATM number is equal to ATM number if this is true, and another condition is that ATM pin is equal to the pin entered by the user. Okay, if this is the case, then only you have done successful validation. Okay, so validation done, and if user enter the invalid credentials, then we should show them the message incorrect ATM number or pin. Okay, so Let's exit from the application as well if user don't enter the correct ATM number. Okay, now if we run this application, see here what we are going to get. Okay, so here we are getting the message enter ATM number. So let's keep 1 2 2 3 3 and 3 4 5. Okay, so this is not the one we have configured, so we are getting the message incorrect ATM number. Okay, so we have to enter 1 2 3 4 5 and 1 2 3. So let's run again, and now here I will provide the ATM number as 1 2 3 4 5 and pin as 1 2 3. So now validation done successfully. Okay, so we are done with the validation part. Now before this ATM number also, I want to print one message: welcome to ATM machine. Okay, so now if user validated successfully, then here we have to perform some operations. Okay, so let's write the menu. Okay, so while true, here we are going to write the menu. So first option is to view the available balance, then second option is to withdraw the money, so withdraw amount, and third is to deposit the amount. After that we have the fourth one, to view the mini statement, and fifth one is to exit from the application. Okay, so this is our menu, and now here we will ask user to enter the choice. So enter choice, int ch is equal to in dot next int. Now user entered the choice. So if choice is equal to 1, then user should able to view the available balance. Okay, so if another choice, so else if we are going to use here, else if choice is equal to 2, then withdraw the amount, else if choice is equal to 3, then deposit the amount. Okay, and if user enter the choice as a 4, then show them the mini statement, else if choice as a 5, then exit from the application. Okay, so let's write here. So whenever user will exit from the application, so before that user should collect the ATM card. Okay, so let's write message collect your ATM card, and then okay, no need to write the another statement here. Here only we can write /n and thank you for using ATM machine. Okay, and after that we will exit from the application. So how we can exit? System dot exit with code 0. Okay, and if user will enter any other choice other than these 5 choices, then here else, and inside this else we will write the message please enter correct choice. Okay, so now our template is ready. Okay, and here we have created one interface as well, ATM operation interface, and these are the operations we are going to perform. So very first one is to view the balance, then to withdraw the amount. So whatever amount user want to withdraw, that we are getting from the user, so that will go as a parameter. Okay, same to deposit the amount also, we are going to ask user how much amount you want to deposit, and that amount we are going to pass in the deposit amount method. And the last one is to view the mini statement. Okay, so this is our interface, and this is the ATM operation IMPL, means the implementation of that interface. Okay, so here we have to implement that interface. So implement ATM operation interface. Okay, so whenever we are implementing any interface, so that class have to provide the implementation for all the methods which are declared inside the interface. Okay, otherwise we have to make this class as a abstract. So see here we are getting the message also, class ATM operation IMPL must either be declared abstract or implement abstract method. Okay, so now we want to implement the methods. So here just click, and here we will get the all the methods. Okay, so this is just the template. We have to write the logic here. Okay, so go to our main class, and first one is to view the available balance. Okay, so now these methods are present inside our implementation class. So let's create the object of that. So how we can create the object? ATM operation interface, and let's write OP is equal to new ATM operation implementation class. Okay, now here we can access the methods. So op dot view balance. Okay, so here inside the view balance method we have to show the balance. Okay, so that balance or the deposit amount and withdrawn amount, all information is available inside our ATM class. So here we have to create the object of the ATM class. Okay, so let's create ATM. ATM is equal to new ATM, and here we can now access ATM, or let's write the message available balance is, and here we can write ATM dot get balance method. Okay, so that we can get the available balance. Okay, so currently we don't have anything, so available balance will be 0. Now let's deposit some amount. Okay, so go to our main class, and to deposit the amount we have the choice as a 3. So here we have to deposit the amount now. So very first let's ask to the user, enter how much amount, or let's write enter amount to deposit. Okay, and here we will write int deposit amount, or yeah, let's write deposit amount is equal to in dot next. Let's keep it double. Okay, so double, and here also we will write next double. Okay, so now we have the amount which user want to deposit. Okay, let's suppose user entered 5,000. He want to deposit the 5,000. Okay, now currently in our balance we don't have anything, so that will be 0. So whenever any user will deposit some amount, that amount should be added into the available balance. Means if user currently has, let's suppose 1,000, then if we are depositing 5,000, then now current available balance should be 6,000. Okay, so newly added 5,000 and previously 1,000, like that. So how we can do that? So here whenever we will deposit the amount, we have to write that logic. So very first let's call op dot deposit amount method. Okay, and how much amount you want to deposit. Now go to our deposit amount method here, and inside this we are going to write the message like deposit amount deposited successfully. Okay, so like if user has deposited 5,000, user will get the message 5,000 deposited successfully. Okay, after that we have to add this into our available balance as well. Okay, or our current balance in our account. So how we can do that? So here we have to write ATM dot set balance method. Okay, and here we have to set the balance. So if we pass here deposit amount, let's suppose here user enter 5,000. Okay, if we are entering here the set balance and passing the deposit amount, then every time it will add whatever amount user will deposit it. Means currently he have deposited 5,000. If next time the user will deposit 2,000, then again available balance will become 2,000, but it should be 5,000 plus 2,000. Okay, so for that here we have to write ATM dot get balance, means whatever is the current balance keep that plus the deposited amount. Means currently if in your account you have 10,000 and after that you have deposited 2,000, so your available balance will be 12,000, like that. Okay, so after that let's call view balance method. So immediately user can see like what we have deposited and what is the current available balance. Okay, so let's run the application and see. So welcome to ATM machine. Enter the ATM number as 12345 and pin as 123. Now view available balance. So currently we don't have anything, so 0 rupees. And now we want to deposit some amount, so deposit, so option is 3. It will, okay, so I think we have not called the deposit amount method from our main class. Okay, okay, so OPV balance we have called, and deposit amount inside our deposit amount deposited successfully. Okay, let's see what happened here. We have entered the choice as a 3. Then what he is asking, enter amount to deposit. Okay, 1 minute. In our main class, so here we have written enter amount to deposit. Next double and then deposit the amount we have called. Inside our, this will show the message. Okay, let's rerun the application. ATM number 12345 and 123. Available balance is nothing. Now deposit the amount. Okay, so now let's suppose I want to deposit 10,000. So see here we are getting the message 10,000 deposited successfully, and now the available balance is 10,000. Okay, so if we deposit some another amount, like currently we have the 10,000, now we want to deposit the 2,000. Okay, so let's enter the choice as a 3 and enter the amount to deposit. Now I want to deposit 2,000. So see here, currently our available balance is 12,000, and here we are getting message as well 2,000 deposited successfully. Okay, now let's exit from the application. So here we are getting the message. Okay, I think we have missed to enter the choice as a 5 here in our main class. Mm, Here deposit, then fourth is to view the mini statement, and here, yes, here we have to write /n. Okay, okay, fine. Now, so here we are done with the view balance and deposit amount. Now let's withdraw the amount. Okay, in our main class. So withdraw the amount is choice 2. So inside this, let's enter message, enter withdrawn amount, or enter amount to withdraw. Okay, int withdraw amount is equal to, sorry, let's keep it double, in dot next double, and here we have to call the method withdraw amount, and here we have to pass the amount which user want to withdraw. Okay, now let's come to our class here, and this is our method withdraw amount. Okay, and here we will get the message like whatever will be the withdrawn amount, that amount we will ask user to collect. Okay, so collect the cash, collect the cash, and here let's keep that. Okay, collect the cash whatever will be user want to collect, and now we want to view the balance as well. Okay, as soon as user withdrawn some amount, then we want to see like how much amount is left in our account. Okay, so here also whenever user will withdraw the amount, then your available balance should be minus. Okay, means if your available balance is 10,000 and user withdrawn 2,000, then your available balance should be 8,000 now. Okay, so for that, here we have to write ATM dot set balance, ATM dot set balance, and here we have to write ATM dot get balance, whatever will be your current or available balance. From that we have to minus the withdrawn amount. So minus withdrawn amount. Okay, so that way we will get the correct available balance. Okay, so if we want to check that, see here, let's run the application. ATM number, pin. Now view the balance, nothing is there. Now let's deposit some amount like 10,000, and we will get this message. Okay, this is fine. Now we want to withdraw the amount, so enter the choice as a 2 and enter amount to withdraw. Now I want to withdraw 2,000, so see here, collect the cash 2,000 and available balance is 8,000. Okay, now again we want to withdraw some amount, let's suppose 500. See here, collect the cash 500 and now your balance is 7,500. Okay, so like that you will see the message. Now let's deposit some more amount, 1 2 3 4. Okay, see here, the correct calculation will be done. Okay, Now let's withdraw some amount like 400. See here, 400 withdrawn and available balance is 8334. Okay, now let's come out of the application. Okay, so here whenever we are withdrawing the amount, so that time actually we have to provide some conditions as well, like if we have the current balance as 5000 and if user want to withdraw the amount as 10,000, then it should not be done because in your account that much funds are not available. Okay, so for that what we have to do, let's write one message here. If okay, withdraw amount, we are withdrawing the amount. Okay, so here we have to write if ATM dot get balance, okay, is, or before that here let's write withdrawn amount should be less than equal to ATM dot get balance. Okay, then only we are going to allow this operation, otherwise we will write insufficient funds, insufficient or insufficient balance. Okay, so if we want to check, let's check. So now let's deposit the amount 5000. Okay, and now we have the balance as 5000. Now let's withdraw the amount. Okay, so if we withdraw 200 it will allow. Okay, here now available balance is 4800. Now let's withdraw the amount 5000, but currently in account we have 4800. Okay, so see here we are getting the message insufficient balance. Okay, so that is done. Now let's come out of the application. Okay, so we want to view the mini statement as well, right? So for that let's create here the hash map. So map, and the key will be the amount, so double, and the value will be string, the message which we want to show. Okay, so let's write here mini statement and new hash map. Okay, so whenever we will withdraw the amount, so that time only we are going to, so here let's or as soon as we are coming inside this withdraw amount method, okay, inside this if condition we are going to write mini statement dot put, and here we will put how much amount we want to withdraw. Okay, and message, like if user withdrawn 5000, then 5000 amount withdrawn. Okay, so this type of message we want to show. So same way we have to write in our deposit method as well. Okay, so here let's write deposit amount and this amount deposited. Okay, and inside the view mini statement let's write for yes, for map, sorry, yes, map dot entry, and here we have double and string. Let's keep M, and here mini statement dot entry set. So this way we can get the key and the value from that map. Okay, so let's print here. First we want to print the key. So for that, how we can write m dot get key. Okay, and some space, and here otherwise we don't need the space as well, because here we already provided. So here let's write m dot get value. Okay, so this way we can get all the mini statements. So let's go to our main class, and here, so fourth is the option to get the mini statements. So for that let's write op dot view mini statement method. Okay, now if we execute this, we will able to see all the mini statements. So 1 2 3 4 5, and 1 2 3 is a pin. Now let's deposit some amount. I want to deposit 10,000. Now I want to withdraw 2,000. Again I want to withdraw 100. Okay, let's deposit some amount. Let's deposit 100. Okay, and now view the balance. Okay, 8,000 is the balance. And now if we want to view the mini statement, so see here, enter 4, and we are able to see all the, okay, so what is 10,000, 10, okay, this is not the expected one. So go here in our ATM operation. So this is get key, and see here we have written m dot get key. So this should be get value. That's why we were getting that incorrect output. Okay, now let's rerun the application again. So 1 2 3 4 5, and 1 2 3. Now deposit amount 10,000, and withdraw the amount to 4,000. Again withdraw the amount, let's suppose 2,000. Okay, now let's view the statement. See here, yeah, so now we are getting 10,000 amount deposited. So very first we have deposited 10,000, after that we have withdrawn 4,000, then we have withdrawn 2,000. Okay, so these are the mini statements. Okay, we are able to see. So now we have covered all the operation, like we can view the available balance if we enter the choice 1. See here, available balance currently is 4,000. Also we can withdraw the amount, we can deposit the amount, we can view the mini statement and exit from the application as well. Okay, also I want to cover one more point here. So whenever we are going to withdraw the amount, we want to sometime maybe you have seen that in ATM machine only the available cash is in multiple of 5,000, or sorry, 500. Okay, so how we can implement that thing? So let's write the logic for that as well. Here just we have to write one more if condition. If withdrawn amount is in multiple of 500, then only we are going to allow the user to withdraw the amount. Okay, so now this all this logic will go inside this if condition. Okay, if withdrawn amount mod 500 is equal to 0, then only we are going to allow user to withdraw the money. Otherwise, here we will write the message, please enter the amount in multiple of 500. Okay, now let's execute and see. Enter the pin 123. So now first let's deposit the amount 10,000, and now let's try to withdraw the amount. Okay, so here I am trying to withdraw 100 rupees. See here, I am getting the message, please enter the amount in multiple of 500. So let's enter 200. 200 will not allow. Okay, so now let's enter 500. See here, we are getting collect the cash 500, and now available balance is 9,500. Okay, so this way we have covered all the operations, and I hope this is clear to everyone. If you have any questions, you can mention in the comment section. So now you can try to create the ATM machine application on your own. Yeah. Hello everyone, welcome to AJ Programming Solutions. So in today's video, we are going to create a student management application in Java, and this application we will connect with our MySQL database. Okay, so let's see how this application will look like after development. So very first, whenever we will run this application, we can get this screen where we can see welcome to student management application, and after that these are the operations which we can perform. Okay, so very first operation is to add the student. So whenever we are entering our choice as a 1, that time we can add student into our database. Second option is to show all students. So that time we can see all the students whatever we have added into our database. Okay, the third option is to get the student based on roll number. So here we can enter the roll number and we can get all the details of that student. Okay, for example, if we enter roll number as a 1, then we will get all the details of the student whose roll number is 1. Okay, the fourth operation is to delete the student. So here also we can provide the student roll number, and that student will be deleted from our database. Fifth operation is to update the student. So here we can update the details of the student. And last operation is exit from the application. So whenever we will exit from the application, we can see one message, thank you for using the application, and here our application will end. Okay, so this is a basic overview of application. Now let's see. So when we are entering the 1, here we can add the student. Okay, so enter the name. So for example, here I want to add the student Sheetal, and college name we can see DYPCOE. After that, city we can write Mumbai, and percentage let's take 98. Okay, so now here we can see the message record inserted successfully. Okay, so this record should insert in our database. Now if you want to see, then we can enter show all students. Okay, so if I am entering 2, here we can see all the student details. So for now we have added only one student, so here we can see only one student details. Okay, now let's add some more student. So here let's add Rima. The college name will be PCCO. Then city, let's take Pune, and percentage 78. Okay, so now we have two students. If we want to see, we can enter the choice as show all students. So here we have the two students. Okay, so we can see first one is Sheetal, second one is Rima. Okay, now if we want to see the student based on their roll number, then we can enter 3, and here let's suppose we want to see the details of the student whose roll number is 2. Okay, So see here, we are only getting the student details whose roll number is 2. Now if we want to delete this student, then how we can delete? We have to enter 4. So here we can get the message enter roll number. So we want to enter the roll number 1. 1 we want to delete. Now student deleted successfully. So how we can confirm that if the student is deleted or not? So here we can enter the choice as a 3 and the roll number as a 1 which we have deleted recently. Okay, now we are trying to get the detail whose roll number is 1 but that roll number is deleted. Okay, so see here we are getting the message record with this id is not present in system, means that record is deleted. Okay, now let's suppose we want to update the student. So here 5 and here we will get 3 options. Means what you want to update? You want to update your name, city or college name. So here we can enter I want to update the name of the student. So enter the student ID will be 1 and here it is asking us to enter the new name. Okay, so currently the roll number 1 has the name Sheetal. Now we want to update it and we want to make it Seema. So see here we are getting the message name updated successfully. So we can check. So here if we enter 2, then we can see here the name is updated to Rima. Okay, so if we enter 6 we will be out of the application, we can get this message. Okay, so this is a overview of our application which we are going to create. Okay, now let's start with the coding. So here I have created a simple Java project student management application, and in this Java project we have these packages com.aj programming DAO, then com.aj programming DB, main and model. Okay, so in this main package we have the client class, means here our main method will be there. So this is our starting point of the application. Okay, so after that in model class we have our student model class. Okay, so this is our Pojo class, and in the DB we have this DB connection class where we will create the database connection. Okay, so in DAO we have the DAO interface which contain all these operations which we are going to perform on our student, and this is the student DAO which will implement the student DAO interface. Okay, so this is a project structure, and one more thing is that we are connecting this application to MySQL, so we have to add this jar MySQL connector jar. Okay, so how we can add? So here you have to click on the file, then project structure, and in project structure you have to select these modules, and after that click on this plus symbol and then you can add your MySQL connector jar. After that just click on the apply and OK. Okay, so currently we already added this MySQL connector jar, so let's cancel this, and now you are ready to create your student management application. Okay, so very first let's create our student Java class. So this is our model class. These are the fields which we have: student roll number, name, then student college name, then what is the city of the student, and after that the percentage. Okay, now here we have to create the getter setter methods. So generate getter setter, okay, for all the fields. Now once we are done with the getter setter, we have to create the constructor. So constructor with all the fields, and then we have to create the constructor. So this time we will exclude this roll number because roll number will auto increment in our database. Okay, so after that one simple default constructor. Okay, so we have generated the constructor and getter setter methods. Now we are just left with the toString method. So here select this toString and toString method will be for all these fields. Okay, so now we are ready with our model class. Now let's create the database connection. Okay, so inside this DB connection class, we will create the database connection. So one method we will create, that method will return the connection object. Okay, so very first let's create static connection con, and after that we will write one method public static connection and create connection. Okay, so this will return us the connection object. So let's write here return con. Okay, now here we have to load our driver classes, then also we have to provide the username password of our MySQL database, and then we will return this connection object. Okay, so let's write try, and here catch exception ex dot print stack trace. Okay, inside this try block let's load the driver. So here class dot for name, and here we will write com dot mysql dot jdbc dot driver. Okay, and after that let's create the user. So here the username is root for me. You can provide your MySQL username, then password will be root underscore pass underscore 1234. You can replace your password here, and then URL. So here URL we have to write JDBC MySQL localhost, and this is our MySQL port. So MySQL port will be 3306, and this is our database name. Okay, and after that you have to write this auto reconnect true, and then use SSL false or true, anything. Okay, so once we are done with username password URL, then we can write con is equal to driver manager dot get connection. Okay, and here we will pass our URL, then user, and then password. Okay, so now we have to return this connection object. Okay, so here we have already returned that. Now we are done with the database connection part. Okay, so for now we have done the model class creation and database creation. Okay, now let's go to our client.java. So this is our main method. So this is our menu driven program. So very first let's write the menu. Okay, before that let's create the scanner sc is equal to new scanner. Here we have to pass system.in. Okay, we will be needing the scanner class, and after that one message welcome to student management application. Yeah, so after that in while, this is the menu driven application, so inside this while we have to write the menu. Okay, so what will be our menu? Very first option to add the student, so add student. After that second option to show all students, show all students. After that third option is to show student or get student. based on roll number. The fourth option will be delete the student, and then fifth to update the student. Update student. Sixth will be to exit from the application. So this is our menu. Now here we are going to use the switch case. Okay, so for switch case we need the choice. So here let's enter choice int ch is equal to sc dot next in. Okay, so here choice we will get from the user, and now inside the switch let's write the case 1. So case 1 is to add the student. Okay, so here let's write the message add student. Here I am just creating the basic template, so after that we are going to write the logic. Okay, so case 2 to show all details. S out, here we can write show all students, and every time we have to write the break. Then case 3 is for getting the student based on ID, so get student based on roll number, break. After that case 4 is to delete the student, so delete student, then break. Case 5 to update the student, so here just we have to write the messages accordingly, update the student and break. And the last one is to exit from the application. Okay, so exit. So here we can give the message thank you for using student management application. And to exit from the application, system.exit, and here the exit code will be 0. Okay, if user is entering any other choice, then here we can write default and appropriate message, please enter valid choice. Okay, so now our basic application is ready, but currently we don't have any logic. Okay, so just run the application and see if we are able to see the menu or not. Okay, so currently if we enter, we can see here welcome to student management application, and these are the options. Okay, so for example if we enter here, let's suppose update student 5 choice, then we can see update the student. Okay, currently we don't have any logic, so we are going to write the logic, but the basic menu is ready here. Now if you want to exit from the application, just we have to enter 6 and we are out of the application. Okay, so now let's start with writing the logic for inserting the student into the database, then show all student. So all this logic we are going to write now. Okay, so very first let's write the logic to create the student. Okay, so very first is the add student. So if we open our interface, in this interface we have all the methods written here. Now we have the student DAO class, so here we have to implement that interface. Okay, so implement student DAO interface. Now if we are implementing any interface, we have to provide the implementation to all the methods. Okay, so here we have to provide implementation for all these 5 methods. Now let's create. Very first method is insert student. Okay, so now when we are inserting the student, we need all the student details. Okay, so in our main class here, let's write. Very first message will be enter student name. Okay, so what name you want to insert? So here we will get string name is equal to sc dot next. So this will be our student name. Then enter student college name. So string college name is equal to sc dot next. After college name we can ask enter city. Then string city is equal to sc dot next, and then percentage. Enter percentage. Okay, so for the percentage we can write double percentage is equal to sc dot next double. Okay, now we have all the details about the student and we have to add these details. So now let's create the student object. So student st is equal to new student. Okay, and here we can pass all these details. So name, then college name, after that city, and then percentage. Okay, now we have passed all the student information. So now we have now we have to call our insert method. Okay, so how we that insert method is available in our student DAO class. Okay, so in our client.java we have to create the object of that class. So how we can create the objects? Student DAO interface DAO is equal to new student DAO class. Okay, so now we have the object of this student DAO class, and through this object we can access all the methods inside this class. Okay, so here now we can write DAO dot insert student, and here we have to pass the student object. Okay, now once we inserted the student, we want to see the message like your record is added successfully or record inserted successfully. Okay, so for that let's create here one boolean variable, boolean ans. Okay, and if record is added successfully, then only we want to show that message. So here we can write if answer, then show the message to the user that record inserted successfully. Okay, otherwise something went wrong. So here let's write something went wrong, please try again. Okay, so now our case 1 code is ready. Now we have to go to this method and write our logic. Okay, so inside this insert student method of our student DAO class, let's write the logic. Okay, so here Very first we have to create the connection object. Okay, so try catch exception ex and first print our stack trace. If any exception will get, we will get to know. Okay, so here connection con is equal to our database connection class is db connection. Okay, so here we can write db connection dot create connection method, because this method is returning the connection object. Okay, now our connection is established. Now we want to insert the details. So for inserting the detail, we have to write first query. So string query is equal to, so query will be insert into our class is student, sorry, our table. So student details. So this is the table. Okay, inside the student details we want to add student name. Okay, so s name is the column name, so s name, after that college name, then city and percentage. Okay, so these are the details we want to add. So values, here values, first value, second value, third and fourth. Okay, so these are the placeholders. So this is our insert query. So let me show you the database details as well. So if we open our MySQL workbench, then see here, so we have this student database, and inside this student database we have created this student details table. Okay, which has this roll number. Roll number will be auto incrementing, and then yes name, college name, city and percentage. Okay, if we execute select star from student details, so currently we don't have any data here. Now we are going to add the record. Okay, so now let's open our code. So this is our insert query. Now we are going to insert this record. So let's create prepare statement. pst is equal to con dot prepare statement, and here we can pass the query. Okay, after that, so after that we have to add the values to all these placeholders like s name, college name, city and percentage. Okay, so how we can add that? So here we can write pst dot set string, and this is the first placeholder which is the student name. Okay, so for that here we can write yes dot get name. Okay, because in this student object we already added all that values whichever user has provided, so from that object only we are getting the value. Okay, so same way we have to do for others as well. So pst dot set string, second parameter, what is the second parameter? College name. So here we can write yes dot get college name. Okay, now pst dot set string, and the third parameter is city, so yes dot get city. pst dot set double, and then fourth will be yes dot get percentage. Okay, percentage type is double, so that we have written set double. Okay, after that we have to execute this, so pst dot execute update. Okay, and after that here let's take one boolean flag. So initially this flag will be false. Okay, and once we inserted the record, then we will make that flag as a true. And now here also we are going to return the flag. Okay, means if record inserted successfully, then this flag will become true, and here we will get the true value, and in our client.java file here, if inserted record successfully, then we can get this message. Otherwise, if flag is false, then we will get the message something went wrong, please try again. Okay, now let's save this and let's test the first method, insert student, if it is working or not. Okay, let's run the application. So here we can see, now we have to enter the choice as a 1. Okay, so add student. So here enter the student name, let's add the student Sheetal. The college name we can write DYPCOE. The city Pune, and percentage let's write 89. Okay, so now we are getting the message record inserted successfully. Okay, now how we can check that? Let's open our MySQL. Okay, and here let's execute this query. So currently we don't have any record here, but if we execute this, now see here, one record is inserted successfully. Okay, so now we are done with one operation, insertion of the record or creating the student. Okay, now we have to write the logic for the second one, which is show student. Okay, this one, show all students. So here same, we will be creating the connection object first. So for that let's write the try catch block. So here we will write ex.print stack trace. Inside this try, let's create the connection. Connection con is equal to db connection dot create connection, and then we want to show all the student details. So let's create the query string. Query is equal to, what is the query to get all the data? Select star from table name. So our table name is student details. Okay, so in this query we will get all the result. So here let's write statement stmt is equal to con dot create statement. Okay, and now let's write stmt dot execute query, and here we will pass the query. Okay, now this is returning the result set. Okay, so let's create here result set res. Okay, now inside this result set we have all the records. So here let's write while res dot next. So if we have the records inside our result set, then we are going to print that. So s out, here we can write roll number, roll number. So here we will write res dot get in and first. Okay, so first we will get the roll number, and then student name. Okay, so student, or let's write only the name. For the name also same way we have to write rs dot get string to. Okay, so let's take this to next line. After that we have the college name. So college name rs dot get string, and here we will pass 3. Okay, then slash n, fourth number. So what will be the fourth we have percentage, sorry, city of the student. Okay, so here we can write rs dot get string and index will be 4 slash n, and here we have to write the percentage rs dot get double and the column name 5. Okay, so now here we have to write plus. Okay, so now here all the data will print. Okay, so once we, so there may be so many records, so just to separate the records we are writing this system.out.println statement. Okay, now let's go to our client.java file, and here the case 1 is to add the student, that is done. Now show all student. Okay, so here we have to call this method, so dav dot show all students. Okay, now let's run the program and see if we are getting all the student details or not. Okay, so let's run the program, and here, so first option is to add the student and second is to show all students. So let's enter 2, and here we are getting this student. Okay, so currently we have only one student in our database, so let's add some more students. So choice will be one student name, let's make it Tina, college name YCCE, city Mumbai, percentage 80/80. Okay, so now we have two students, so if we are entering show students, so here roll number 1 the Sheetal and the roll number 6 is Tina. Okay, so these two students we have currently. So let's exit from the application now. So we are ready with two operations. So first one is to insert the record and second one is to show all students. Okay, now third one is to get the student based on roll number. So here we have to pass the roll number. So let's write the message, enter roll number int roll is equal to sc dot next int, and here we have to call dav dot show student by id, and here we will pass the roll number. Okay, now here let's take one boolean variable f. Now let's suppose we have the roll number 1, so that time we will get details of roll number 1. Okay, but let's suppose user entered some roll number 100 and that roll number is not available, so that time user should get the message that this roll number or this student with this roll number is not available in our system. Okay, so for that we will take this boolean variable, and here we will check if that is not true, means not f, then print the message that this student is not available. Okay, so student with this id is not available in our system. Okay, so this will be the correct message. Now let's go to show student by id method. Okay, so whatever we have written here for show all students, same thing we have to write here, and we will make some changes. Okay, just copy this and paste here the same thing we want, so only we have to change this query. Okay, so here string query select star from student details, so this will give all the student details, but now we want the specific student. So here let's add select star from student details where roll num is equal to, here we have to pass this roll. Okay, so this is our roll number. So let's check if that column name is correct or not. Yeah, so we have this column name. Okay, so now let's open our IntelliJ. So now here we will get only the student whose ID is whatever will be the ID user pass. Okay, now we will be getting here the same detail. Just comment this line because currently we have only one record. So now if we run the application, we can see very first is to add the student. Let's keep that show all student. So here we are getting two students, student roll number 1 and student roll number 6. Okay, now if we want to get the student based on roll number, so here let's enter 3 and roll number 1. Okay, so see here if we are entering roll number 1, we are getting the detail of the student whose roll number is 1. Okay, so this way we can write. Now let's come out of the application and here, okay, so this is some mistake, I think spelling mistakes. So now we are done with adding the student, then getting the student based on ID and show all students. Now let's go to our client.java and here we are done with 1, 2 and 3 cases. Now the fourth one is to delete the student. Now fourth one is to delete the student. Okay, so here also let's write the message enter roll number to delete, means which your student you want to delete. Okay, so for that int roll num is equal to sc dot next int and this roll number we have to pass. So dav dot delete method and here we will pass this roll num. Okay, now again let's take this in some boolean variable, boolean f. Okay, and here we have to check again if that record is deleted successfully, then we are going to write the message that record deleted successfully. Okay, so if ff is true, then give the message that record deleted successfully. Otherwise, same message we can write something went wrong. Okay, now let's go to our delete method here. So show all student, show student by ID done. Now this is our delete method. Okay, so here let's write the try catch block first. Inside this try block, let's create the connection con is equal to our db dot create connection and now we want to delete the record. So let's write the string query is equal to, so how we can write the delete query, delete from table name student details where roll num is equal to and here we have to pass the roll number. Okay, Now let's create the prepare statement. PST is equal to con dot prepare statement and pass the query here. After that we can write PST dot execute update. Okay, now this record will be deleted. So let's take one variable here, boolean flag is equal to false, and if that record deleted successfully, let's make it true. Flag, and also we have to return this flag. Okay, now I think we are ready with delete method also. So let's run the application again to check whether we are on correct tag. So add student is done, show all student. If we can see all the student, now if you want to delete this student whose roll number is 6, then here just enter 4. So it will ask enter roll number to delete, so you want to enter 6. Okay, I think some mistake we did here. What is the error? Let's see. Table student dot student. Okay, so this is the spelling mistake. Go to our student class here and see student. Okay, now I think it will work. So stop and rerun. So fourth number we want to delete the student whose roll number is 6. Okay, see here we are getting the message record deleted successfully. So how we can check now? Get the student based on roll number. So just enter here 3 and roll number we will provide 6. But 6 we have deleted recently. So here we will get the message that this record is not available. Okay, see here student with this id is not available in our system. Okay, means that id is deleted successfully. Now let's come out of this, and now we are just left with the update operation. So let's start with that. Go to our client.java file, and here the fifth one is to update the student. Okay, so here let's write the message. Like here also we will provide the menu, because for the student we have the different fields like student name, then student city, percentage. Okay, so which one you want to update, for that we can give here the menu. So let's write very first will be to update the name. Okay, then second will be to update, let's update student college name. Okay, and again if you want, like if you want to update anything, just you have to enter or add in this menu. Okay, so for now let's keep name and college name. Then here we have to ask to the user for choice, so enter your choice. Int ch is equal to sc dot next int. So this ch is already available, so let's make it choice. Okay, and after that here we can write if choice is equal to 1, then 1 is for updating the name. Okay, so here like if you want to update the name, then let's enter here, enter new name which you want to update. Okay, then string name is equal to sc dot next. Okay, so variable name already exists. Okay, let's make it s name. Now we have taken the new name from the user, and now we want to update this. Okay, so now let's create the student object. So student st is equal to new student, and here, okay, std, and here we want to set this new name. So let's write std dot set name, and here we will pass this s name. Okay, also we want the roll number, so enter roll number, int roll num is equal to sc dot next int. Now we have the roll number which we want to update, and the new name as well. Okay, so and this student as well. Now here let's write dav dot update student. Okay, so for this first we have to pass the roll number, so our num is our variable here. After that, what we want to update, name. So here let's pass s name, and then what is the choice, like if choice is 1, then we are going to update the name. So here let's pass choice and our student object. Okay, so now we are done here. Also, let's create one boolean flag just for the user message. So here we will write if flag is true, then print name updated successfully, else something went wrong. Okay, so now we can update the student name. So let's check that. So this is in our client.java file. Okay, now we have to make the changes in our student dav class. So this is our update method. So here we can write if choice. So very first let's create one variable choice and assign this here, and here we will check if choice is equal to 1, then we are going to update the student name. Okay, so for that, first let's create the connection. So before that, this should be in our try catch block. So try catch exception ex, and ex dot print stack trace. Inside this try block, we have to write the logic. If choice is equal to 1, then here let's create the connection con is equal to, same steps are there. If we create this type of applications, then we will get to know that all the steps are same. So here connection is created. So after that, let's create the query. String query is equal to, so this will be to update the name. So update student details set s name is equal to, so here name will be the name which user will be passed. Okay, where roll num is equal to this placeholder. Okay, now we will create the prepare statement object. Prepare statement ps is equal to con dot prepare statement, and let's pass the query here. Now ps dot set string, so this is for this s name. So here the parameter we will pass 1, and now we have to pass here the name. Okay, so this will be our name which user will be passed. So here let's pass the name. Okay, now ps dot set int. So this is for this roll number, so index will be 2, and here this is our roll number, so just pass here. Okay, so now roll numbers, this name is updated for this roll number. Now let's execute this query. So ps dot execute update. Okay, and after that we have to create the flag. Initially it will be false, and if we updated this successfully, then make this as a true. Okay, and then here also we have to return the same flag. Now I think it should work. Let's run the application and see. So currently how many records we have? So we have only one record, roll number 1 and name Sheetal. Okay, now if we want to update this, so let's enter the choice as a 5, and here we are getting our menu, update name and college name. So currently we want to update the name. Okay, so enter the roll number 1. Now new name, what will be the new name? So let's keep it Ravina. Okay, see here we are getting the message name updated successfully. Now if we want to see, so here let's enter show all student, and see here the previously name was Sheetal, now it's Ravina. Okay, so now we have successfully updated the name of the student. Okay, now let's come out of this application. So see here, so currently we are done with inserting the student, then delete the student. We have updated the student name as well. After that, this is to show all student and show student by ID. So we are done with all the operations now. If we go to client.java, so here we have this case 5 to update the student. Okay, so here I have written the logic for choice 1, means update the name. So same way we can write for the college name as well. So you can try that to update the college name as well as to update the percentage. So that's it for student management application project. So I hope everything is clear to you. If you have any questions, you can mention in comment section, and in the description I will provide the link for the source code. So you can watch this video, try to create the application on your own, and if you are getting stuck somewhere, then you can refer the source code. Also, I will provide the database details as well. And if you find it helpful, please subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends so they can also learn this. Thank you so much. Hello everyone, welcome to ATM Programming Solutions. So in today's video, we are going to create the quiz application in Java. So in this application we will have some MCQ questions. Okay, for example here the first question is which statement is true about Java. Okay, and for this question we have these four options. So for this question the answer is Java is platform independent programming language. Then if we select the answer as a D, then it will be the correct answer, otherwise wrong answer. Okay, and once we attend all the questions, after that we will get the result. In that result we can get how many questions was there in the quiz, and out of that questions how many you have answered correctly and how many you have answered incorrectly, and based on that how much percentage you got out of 100. Okay, So this is the problem statement for today's video. Now let's start creating the project. Okay, so here go to file, new project, and here we have to select the Java. Next, next, and here give the project name as quiz app. Okay, finish, and new window. Okay, so now our project is created. Okay, quiz app, and inside this quiz app we have the source folder. Okay, now let's create the package first. So click on the source, new package. So package will be com.sjprogramming.quiz app. Okay, and inside this package let's create one text file first, notes.txt. In this file I am going to store all the questions. Okay, so this will be the questions which we want to take in our quiz. Okay, now let's create the first class here, new Java class, and the class name will be questions. Okay, so this is our Pojo class, and inside this class we are having private string question. Okay, and this will be our question, and after that we need the four options. Okay, so let's create private string option 1. Let's copy this and paste 4 times. Okay, so option 1, option 2, then option 3, and option 4. Okay, so this is the Pojo class. So let's create the default constructor first, public questions. So this is our default constructor, and then now create the constructor with the fields. Okay, so how we can create the constructor with fields? Just we have to do right click in your project and select the source. Okay, then constructor, and we have to select all the things. Okay, so now our parameterized constructor is also ready. Now we have to create the getter and setter for each and every field. Okay, so here we have to select getter and setter, and it will create the getter setter for us. So now the getter setters for each and every variable is ready, and at last let's create the toString method as well. Okay, so select the toString from here and okay. Now our questions Pojo class is ready. Okay, now let's create the main class. So new Java class and give the name as a main. Okay, and inside this main class we have the main method. Okay, so we can write all the logic inside our main method as well, but let's create the class here with the name quiz, and inside this quiz class we are going to write the logic. Okay, so let's write the method public void logic. Okay, this method will contain all our logic. Okay, so this is the method. Now here we have to create the questions class object, and this question class have the first parameter as a question. Okay, for this parameterized constructor we have the first parameter as question, then the question 1, sorry, the option 1, then option 2, option 3, and option 4. Okay, so same way let's create the object here. So we have the 5 questions, so we have created the 5 objects like this. Okay, so this is our question first parameter, and then see here, this is the first option. Okay, option A, and then option B. Like that we have 4 options for each question. Okay, now we want the hash map to store the question. Okay, then there are options and the answer for that. Okay, so in hash map we will store the key as a question. Inside this question we have the question and options, and the value will be the answer. Okay, so let's create the map here, map, and the key will be of type questions, and then the value will be character. Let's put character because here the answer we are going to write like this here. We will enter A or B or C or D. Like this we are going to enter our answers. Okay, so let's keep the value as a character. Now here hmap is equal to new hash map. So this is our hash map. Now let's put the value inside this hash map. So hmap dot put, and first parameter will be q1, and then the answer for the question 1. Okay, so question 1 answer is D. So let's put like this. Then hmap dot put and q2 comma, what is the extension of Java code. Okay, so for this the answer is D. Then again hmap dot put, and here q3 question 3, and for question 3 we have the answer as B. Then hmap dot put question 4, and for question 4 we have the answer B. Then hmap dot put q5, and for q5 we have the answer C. Okay, so here we have created the questions and the corresponding answer. Okay, now we have to print these questions, then their options, and after that we are going to ask the user to enter their answer. Okay, means which choice is the correct one. Okay, so for that let's iterate the map. Okay, so for map dot entry, so here it will be the same type, questions and character. Okay, so here let's give the name map, and now we have to write our hash map name. So hash map name is hmap dot entry set. Okay, so inside this for loop let's print the question first. Okay, so yes out first question, how we can get map dot, the question is inside our key. Okay, so map dot get key, and if we do map dot get key then we will get the question as well as all the options. Okay, so now we want the question, so for that let's use get question method. Okay, now our question 1 will print. Now we want to print all the options for that question, so how we can do map dot get key dot get option 1. Okay, so same way let's copy this and print here option 1, then option 2, then option 3, and after that option 4. Okay, now we have printed the question and their options. So next step is that we will ask user to enter the answer. Okay, so let's create first the scanner object here. So scanner sc is equal to new scanner, and here system.in. Okay, now here we can create the statement, write the statement is out, enter your answer. Okay, and here we will write character answer is equal to sc dot next. And like if we want only the character, so for that purpose we can write char at 0th index. Okay, so it will take only the first character. So after that we have to check like the entered answer, whatever user has entered. Let's suppose user entered the choice as a D or C, so that answer and the value of that map means here if you can see here the question is q1 and these are the answers. Okay, so we have to check the entered answer from that user or and this value of this hash map is matching or not. If both are equal, then your answer is correct, otherwise your answer will be wrong. Okay, so now let's compare these two characters. Okay, so how we can compare these two characters? So for that let's take int c answer is equal to, we have the character class. Inside this character class we have this compare method. Okay, so here let's pass the first parameter as the answer which is given by the user, and then the second parameter will be the value of that map. So how we can get that? Map dot get value. Okay, so if both the characters are same, then it will return 0. Okay, so for that let's write the condition here. If correct answer is equal to 0, then it will print correct. Okay, your result. And if that is not the case, then it will print wrong. So yes out, wrong. Okay, now let's save this and try to run this application. Before running here, we have to create the object of quiz class. Quiz q is equal to new quiz, and here we will call the logic method. Okay, now let's run this application. Right click and run, and let's see if it is working or not. So see here, we got the first question, what is the extension of Java code files? Okay, so for the Java code files, what will be the extension? .java. Okay, so now let's enter here the choice as D. So see here we are getting it is correct answer. Okay, after that which of this cannot be used for a variable name in Java? So in Java we cannot use keyword as a variable name. Okay, so let's put here C. So this is the correct answer. Now which one of the following is not a Java feature? Okay, so for this the answer is use of pointers, but let's keep D, so that here we will get this is the wrong answer. Okay, so why we are getting this correct wrong? Because we have written the logic there and we have compared the entered means this character with the answer which is there in our hash map value. Okay, now here who invented Java programming language? So Java programming language is invented by James Gosling. So here let's enter B. So this is the correct answer. After that, which statement is true about Java? So here we have the answer, Java is platform independent programming language. So enter the answer as a D. Okay. So this is also the correct answer. So out of 5 we have given the 4 correct answer and 1 wrong answer. Okay, but here we are not seeing any result, so let's write the result as well, like how many answers you have entered correctly and how many incorrect. Okay, so for that in our quiz application let's take one variable correct answer count, and initially it will be 0, and another variable wrong answer count. So it will be also 0 initially. Okay. Now here, like whenever the answer will be correct in this if, that will come inside this if block. Okay. So here we will increment the count of the correct answer. Okay. And whenever the answer is wrong, that time we are going to increment the count of the wrong answer. Okay. Now after this if else, here we have to come to this for loop. Okay, so here we have this for loop, and after this for loop we are going to print the result. So how we can print the result? So here let's write system.out.println. Okay, here we are going to write result, and first let's print total number of questions. Okay, so here total questions. So how many questions was there? 5. Okay, so how we can get that? So here we can write hmap dot size. So how much is the size of that hash map? That will be your total number of questions. Okay, then let's print how many you have entered correctly. So correct answered. So here let's keep correct answer means the what is the count of your correct answer variable. So for that let's print correct answer count here, and the same way for the wrong answered, and let's write here wrong answered questions and correct answered questions. Okay. So here it will be the correct answer count. Okay. So now we got the total number of question, then correct answer, wrong answer, and now we want the percentage as well. Okay. So for that we can write here percentage. Okay. So how we will get the percentage here? So let's suppose here we have number of questions 5. Okay, and out of this 5 we have given the 4 correct answer and 1 wrong answer. Okay, so out of 5 you got the 4, but we want to calculate the percentage out of 100. Okay, so here we don't know the value, so how we will get the percentage here? 100 into correct answers, 100 into correct answers divided by number of questions. Okay, so here let's write 100 into correct answer and divided by number of questions. So how we can get number of questions? Hmap dot size. Okay, so this way we'll get the percentage as well. So now let's run the program and see. See here, what is the extension of Java code file? So here the answer will be D. Then which of this cannot be used for variable name in Java? So keywords we cannot use. So C, this is the correct answer. Now here, which one of the following is not a Java feature? So we will keep answer as a B. This is the correct answer. Who invented Java programming? So James Gosling. So enter the choice as a B. And now which statement is true about Java? Okay, so correct answer is Java is a platform independent programming language, but let's keep here the answer as a A. Okay, so out of 5 questions we are going to give the 4 correct answer and one will be the wrong. Okay, see here wrong, and here we are getting the result. Total questions were 5 Out of 5 you have given the correct answer for the 4. Okay, wrong answer. Okay, here it is printing 4, I think. Yeah, see here we have to print the wrong answer count. Okay, and now let's run the application again. So here enter your choice. So we know the answer D. Then here C. Here we have the answer B. So here let's keep the incorrect answer, and for this the answer is D. See here now the total questions 5, out of which you have given the correct answer of 4 questions and the wrong answer of 1 question. So your percentage is 80. Okay. Now if you want 100%, then you have to give the correct answer to each and every question. Okay. Now again, if we want to enhance this application, then what we can do, if the percentage of the student are less than 35, then student will be failed or poor performance. If the percentage of the student is greater than 80%, then the performance will be good. And if the percentage are like the 90-95, then the performance will be very good. Like that also we can print. So for that we just have to write here the logic for that. So let's write here if, otherwise let's take this, and here take the percentage. Okay, so double percentage is equal to this one, 100 into correct answer count divided by hmap.size. Okay, provided int and required type double. Okay, okay, let's keep it int. Okay, here we will get the percentage. So here we can directly print the percentage now, and here we will check if percentage greater than, let's keep 95, then performance will be very good. Okay, then here else if, and here we will write percentage. If percentage are less than 35, then performance is low or very low, we can write. Okay, and here let's write else if, or let's write else performance medium. Okay, now let's run application one more time. So for this the answer is D, then C, here we have B, then let's keep D. So it is wrong answer, and now here the answer will be D. So see here the total questions 5, correct 4, okay, wrong 1. Your percentage is 80. So based on the percentage your performance is medium. If your percentage is greater than 95, then your performance will be very high. Okay, and if it is less than 35, then it will be very low, otherwise medium. Okay, so this way we have created our online quiz application with 5 questions. So here you can increase the number of questions, and also if you want you can store these questions in the database, and from database we can keep means we can take the questions and the options. Okay. Okay, so I hope you guys understood this quiz application. If you have any doubts, you can mention in the comment section. Thank you for watching the video. Hello everyone, welcome to AJ Programming Solutions. So in today's video, we are going to start with the book management application or a library management application. So here very first we are going to cover these 5 operations. First one is to add the book, then show all books, after that to show available books, and then borrow a book and return a book. So after that we are going to perform some validations on the fields. Okay, for example we have the fields as a book id or the book title or author. So for each and every field we are going to perform the validations. So for that we are going to use a pattern class in java. Okay, after that whenever we are displaying all the book details, that time we are going to use a format method, so that our details of the book should be displayed in some format. Okay, and then we will see how we can display the text in some different colors. Okay, so these are some points which we are going to cover in today's video. Okay, now let's run the application and see how our application will look like. So as soon as we run the application, we will see this menu where we have these 5 operations and the exit one. Okay, so currently we don't have any book added in our library. So if we enter a choice as a 2, which is to show all the books, we are going to get a message there are no books available in the library. Okay, now let's add some book in the library. So to add the book we have a choice as a 1. So here we have to enter all the book details. So here we are getting the message enter book id. If we enter any book id, then here we will get some message like sorry please enter valid book id, because we have provided the validation for the book id, and that validation is book id should be in digit from 1 to 4 digits. Okay, so let's enter some valid book id, let's suppose 23. Then author name, if we enter the author name like this, then we will get again the message please enter a valid author, because author name should be a character, it should not contain any digit or a special symbols. Okay, so here let's enter the author as James, and the title, for the author and title we have provided the same validation, so it will not allow any digits. So here also we have to enter a characters. Okay, then publish here also we have provided the validation. So see here our validation is working perfectly fine, and here let's enter the year as a 2022. So once we entered all the details, we will get a message book added successfully. Okay, so here whenever we are adding the book first time in the library, that time by default the status of the book will be available, and as soon as some person will borrow the book from the library, then automatically the status of that particular book will become not available. Okay, we are going to see that. So now we have added one book. If you enter choice as a 2, you can see the details of that book. Okay, so same way we can add the book and show all books. Then show available books means let's suppose in our library we have 10 books. Out of 10, 3 books are already borrowed by some students. So currently in your library you have 7 books which are available to borrow. Okay, so that way we can see available books. Then how to borrow a book. If we enter a choice as a 4, then here we have to enter the book id which you want to borrow. Currently we have one book id 23. So let's enter 23 here, and as soon as we enter the valid book ID, we will get the message that book is borrowed successfully, and here you can see the details of that book. So here if you can see, automatically the status should have become not available. Okay, now if you enter a choice as a 2 to show all the book details here, then you can see that the status is become not available. Okay, now we can return the book as this book is borrowed by students. So if you enter a choice as a 5, and here you have to enter a book ID. If you enter any book ID, it will give us a message we cannot return this book because this book is not available in our library. Okay, now let's enter the 5 and the 23 as a book ID. So that book was borrowed by the student, so we have successfully returned that book, and now the status of that book become the available. If you enter choice as a 2, you can see that again the status of that book is become available. Okay, so this way we can perform all these operations, and here you can see that data we are able to see in the format because we have used the format method. And here if you can see, this all this text like ID, title, author, publisher and status is displayed in some other colors. Okay, so that also we are going to see how we can change the color of the text. Okay, now let's understand how we have created this application. Okay, so very first let's see the project structure. So this is simple Java project we have created. How we can create the simple Java project? You just have to go to this file, new, then project. So here just click on the next, and here you have to give some project name and then click on the finish. Okay, so this is the procedure to create the project in Java. Now here we have created this book management app project. Okay, and in this source folder we have these classes and the interfaces. Okay, now let's see. Very first, this book is our Pojo class. Okay, so in this book class we have all the details like book ID, then title, author of the book, then publisher and the status of the book. Okay, after that we have created the constructor here, and then all the getter and setters for each and every field. At last we have created the toString method. Okay, so all these things you don't have to write manually, you just have to use the generate here command N, and then here you have the options to create all these constructor, toString and getter setter methods automatically. Okay, so if you want to create the constructor, you just click on the constructor and select all the fields or the fields which you want to add in your constructor. Okay, and if you click on the OK, automatically the constructor will be created here. Okay, so this way we can create our Pojo class. Here nothing is logical, you just have to write the fields, then the default constructor, parameterized constructor and the getter setter for each and every field. At last we will use the toString method so that our data we will see in the readable format. Okay, after that let's go to our main class. So this main class is having the main method. Okay, so whenever we are running our application, very first thing we will see the welcome message and the menu of our application. Okay, so for that we have used the do while loop. If you can see here, this is the do loop and this is the while loop. Inside the do loop we have very first message as welcome to book management application. Okay, and these are the menu or the operations which we are going to perform here. Okay, very first one is to add the book, then show all books. Likewise we have these 6 operations, and after that we will ask user to enter the choice. Okay, so for that here we have written this system.out.println statement, and then here we will get the input from the user. Okay, so here we are going to use the switch case for each and every operation. So here we will be having a 6 cases for the 6 operation, very first case is to add a book. So here we have used service dot add book. So this service is the, if you go to here, so this service is the object of the book service interface. Okay, if we go to book service interface, this interface contain this 5 operations. Okay, so add book method, then show all books, show all available books, then borrow a book and return book. You can add any other methods here. Then same thing you have to implement in your implementation class as well. So this is the book service implementation class. Okay, so this is implementing the book service interface. Okay, so if we go to the interface, we have the first method as a add book. Now let's see what is the logic we have written inside the add book. Okay, so see here, this is our add book method. So here we have written the all the details of the book, like book ID, author, title and year. Okay, so whenever we are entering the book detail, we have to validate that as well. For that we have written one more class validator here, and inside this validator class we have written the separate methods to validate the entered detail. Like if user is entering the ID, book ID, that book ID should be in digits only. It should not contain any characters or the special symbols. So that validation we have written inside this validator class. Okay, so that's why in this implementation class we have created the object of the validator class this way. Validator is equal to new validator, and using this object we can access all the methods which are written in the validator class. Okay, so if we go to the first method, which is to add a book, so see here what we have done here, string book id, then validator dot validate id. So if we go to this validate id method, here we have written the logic for the validation. So very first we will ask user to enter a book id. Then as soon as user enter a book id, here we have used the pattern class. Okay, so see here at line number 7 we have written private static pattern id pattern, and this pattern have the compile method where we have written this pattern like this id should be digit and it should contain any 1 to 4 digits. Okay, so here we will write if condition, that if entered input means this book id, if that book id is not matching with the pattern you have mentioned above, then you can give the message that sorry, please enter a valid book id. Okay, otherwise you can break, and after this while you can just return the book id. Okay, so this red is we have written to show this message in the red color, and if you go above, see here, this is the code for the for displaying the text in the red color. Okay, so there are different colors and different color codes which we can use. So this is for the red one, and this is to reset back. If we are not resetting, then this all the messages should be displayed in the red color. Okay, so that's why here I have written like red at a first, then the message, and at last we have written as a reset. Okay, so this way we can validate the book ID. Now same way we have to validate the author and title and the publisher as well. So let's see the validation first. Here for the author and title also we have mentioned the pattern that the author and title should contain only characters and the space. It should not contain any digits, so that's why this should be the pattern here. And for the year as well we have written the pattern that year should be any 4 digits. Okay, so it will not allow the 1 digit, 2, 3 or any digit which is more than 4. Okay, so here this is the method we have written to validate the author and title. Okay, this is the while loop. So here we have written the same method to validate author and title. That's why this if else condition we have written like if the input is a parameter which we are going to pass whenever we are calling this validate author title method. Okay, so if this input is a title, then user will see the message enter title. If the input is author or other than title, then it should give the message as enter author. Okay, so here we will get the result, means whatever input user is entering, and then if that input means if user entered the author name or the title of the book, then here we have to check the pattern. Okay, so here if this entered the title or the author is not matching with the conditions or the validation which we have written, then we will again give the message that please enter a valid author or the title. Okay, otherwise we will come out of the loop and return the result. Same way we have performed the validation for the year as well. This is exactly the same way. So very first just we have to enter the year, then we have to match with our pattern. If it is not matching, we will display the message, otherwise we will just return the year. Okay, so this way we can write the validations in the separate validator class. Then in the book implementation class, here we will get the book id, author, title and year. And at the first, if we are adding any book to your library, then the status of that book by default will be available. Okay, and if someone is borrowing that book, that time the status of book will automatically become not available. Okay, so here I am passing available whenever you are adding the book. Okay, so here we have created the list of the book, and inside this list of book we are going to add all the book details. As soon as you enter all the details, then you will see one message, book added successfully, and this message you will able to see in the green color. So for that green we have the code here. So this is the code for the green color. Okay, so this way we can add the book. Now if we go to the main class, very first operation is to add the book. I hope you have understood the flow of adding the book. Now if we enter the application, so let's run the application and see. So very first one is to add the book. Okay, so enter the one, and if we are entering the id in the character, it will give the message. Okay, so let's enter the valid book id, then author, PQR, and the title, let's keep it as Java. Publish year, let's keep it 2022. Okay, so see here we are able to see book added successfully message. Okay, so now we are done with the first operation to add a book. The second one is to show all the books. Okay, so to show all the books, what we have to do, very first in our main class we have to go to the case 2 and we have to call the show all books method. So this show all books method is available in our book service interface. Also we have implemented this in our implementation class. Okay, so in this implementation class what we have to do, we have to take all the books from the list of the book. So see here, this is our list of book. So in these books we have all the book details. So just we have to write the for loop this way, like for book, this is the list of the books. We are going to take all the books one by one and just we are going to print the book details. Okay, so here for printing the book details, here we have used the format method. Okay, to format, very first we have used this, like all the like book id, then the title, author, all the fields are the string type. So we have written this way and we have printed all the details. Okay, now this is to show all books. So see here we have taken one flag as well. So initially this flag is false. If you have any book in your library, then that flag will become the true, and if you don't have any books in your library and someone is entering a choice as a 2, that time you will get a message that there are no books available in the library. Okay, so for this purpose we have used this flag variable, and accordingly we can display the messages. Okay, so this is to show all the books. Now the third operation is to show all available books. Available books means what? If you have so many books in your library, but some books are already borrowed by the student and some books are available which any user can borrow, so that books will be the available books. Okay, so when you enter choice as a 3, that time you will see only available books, not all books. Okay, so here the logic is same. You just have to write the for loop, and inside this for loop only changes this if condition. So in this if condition you will check that if book dot get status is available, then only show the details, otherwise don't show that book details. Okay, so same thing here also we have used the flag just to check that is there any available book available or available in your library or not. If there is no book, then you will see this message. Okay, then to borrow a book. To borrow a book, the status of the book should be available. Okay, so for that, here very first we will ask user to enter a book ID which they want to borrow. So here we have written book ID, and this book ID we will validate through this validator method validate ID. Okay, now we have to take all the books one by one, and we have to check that the entered book ID is available in our library or not. So for that we have written book.getID dot equals book ID, means whatever book ID is entered is that book ID is matching with the our book ID from the library. Okay, if the both the book IDs are matching, then we will come inside this if condition. There is one more condition that if your book status is available, then only you can borrow the book, otherwise you cannot borrow. Okay, so that two conditions are written in this if condition, and after that once that book is available in your library, then you will see the message book borrowed successfully. Okay, and as soon as you borrowed the book, automatically we are going to set the status of that book to not available, because that book is borrowed and that is not available to borrow for the further students. Okay, so that's why we will set the status as a not available, and then whatever will be that book details we are just printing here. Okay, so this is the logic to borrow the book. I hope you understand the logic. After that, to return a book, we have the same logic, like we just check here if means we will ask user to enter the book ID. As soon as user enter the book ID, then we will see that is that book available in our library. Also we have to check that is the status of that book is not available, means available book is already in your library, and how can that book will be returned. Okay, if that book is borrowed by some students, then only that student can return that book. So that's why we have added this not available status condition as well, and if this both the conditions are satisfied, then only you can return that book. And as soon as you return the book, you will see this message book returned successfully, and then again the status of that book will become the available from the not available, because you return the book, that book is in your library, and now any other student can borrow that book. Okay, and then you will see the message or the details of that book. Okay, so this way you can perform all the operations in your book management application. Now let's run this application and debug. I will show with the debugging so that you can understand. So here let's keep the pointers. the main, just keep this debug pointers for all the cases. And in the implementation class as well, we have to keep this debug points in every method so that we can understand how the flow is going. So here also I will keep one point, show all books and add book. Okay, now let's uh, okay, now first we are able to see that this is our menu. Okay, now enter the choice as a 1. So one choice is to add a book. Okay, now see here our debug come here at line number 23. So service dot add book. Okay, now if we do the F8, then it will go to add book method inside this implementation class. Okay, now here we have to enter the book ID. So see here we are getting the message enter a book ID. Okay, now if we enter book ID as a 12, it will ask to enter the author. Now let's enter the author as James, then F8, then title will be Java, F8, publish year will be 2020. Okay, now see here, if we do the F8, see here all the book details will be available here. See, if I click here, you can see that ID is 12, title James, author Java, publisher 2020, and status is available. Okay, now in the line number 24 we are adding all these details into our list of the book. Okay, now let's do the F8. Now we will see the message book added successfully. See the flow. See here we got the message now. Okay, now let's do the F8. It will come here. Now break. Again this loop will execute. Again we will see the menu and we have to enter the choice. So here let's enter the choice as a 2 and F8. So it will see here the choice is 2. It will go to show all books. Then again it will come to show all books method in the implementation class. So currently the flag is false. So it will come here. Then this for loop will execute, and currently in these books we have only one book added, so size is 1. Okay, now if we do F8 here, so see once we come inside this for loop, then this flag will be true, otherwise this flag will be false. Okay, now it will come here, change the flag from false to true, then it will come outside. See here we can see all the book details. Okay, the same way we can debug further. Again we can enter the choice as a 3, so it will show all the available books. So currently we have like only one book, so so it will show only one book. Okay, so just do the F8, it will go and it will show the available books. Okay, now if we do the F8 again, so here we can see the menu, and now let's enter the choice as a borrow book. Okay, so if we enter choice as a 4 and do the F8, it will go in the implementation class, and here it will ask to enter a book ID. Okay, now if we enter book ID something like this, then it will give the message please enter valid book ID. So here we have to enter the book ID which is available in your library and which you can borrow, means the status of that book should be available. Okay, so currently we have this 12 as a book ID and the status is available, so we can borrow this book. So let's enter the book ID as a 12 here. So see here, now let's enter the F8, F8. See, book dot get ID. So if you evaluate this, here, if you evaluate this, see what is the value here as a 12. Okay, so here we have used the equals method, and this book id is also 12. So 12 to book dot get id dot equals book id. So first condition is true. Okay, then the second condition is to check the status of the book. If we evaluate this, then you can see that the value of the status is also available. Okay, so both the conditions are matching, so it will come inside the if. Then the flag value was false, now it will become true. If we do F8, see here the flag value became true now. Then it will print in the green that book borrowed successfully. Okay, so see here you will see the message book borrowed successfully. After that, immediately you can see all the details of that book. Okay, so if we do F8, we can see all the book details. So see here borrowed book details, and this is the ID, title, author, publisher, all the details will be here. So borrow book is done. Now if we come here, now only we have to return the book. Okay, so see here menu is displayed again. It will ask to enter a choice. So here we have to enter a choice as a 5 so that we can return that book. Okay, so see here the choice is 5 now. It will go to this service.return book. Then again it will come to the implementation class. So for the return book also the conditions are like that book should be available and the status of that book will be not available, so that you can return that. Okay, now see here it is asking to enter a book id. Now if you enter some 12 is a book id which we can return, but just enter here a book id as a 1. So that one book id is not available in your library. Now see what happened. Okay, see here it will come inside this for loop, and here it will check that is that book is available or not. So see here that if condition is not satisfied, so it came out of this, and here the flag is false only, because if the condition is true, if this condition is true, then only this flag is becoming true, otherwise the flag will be false. And now this condition is not satisfied, so because see here the book dot get id, if we evaluate that, this book dot get id. Okay, now we are at the next line, so that's why it is not recognizing, but book dot get id will be 1. Okay, sorry, book dot get id means the 12 is our book id which is available, okay, in this list of books, but we have entered the book id as a 1, so this condition is not matching, that's why this if condition will be failed, and now it is out of this if condition, and here the flag is false. Okay, so that's why it will come here this condition will be true, and then we can see this message that we cannot return this book. Okay, so see here if I do F8, it will see that is the flag value is false, yes, so it will display this message. See, we cannot return this book. Okay, now if we do F8 again, we can see the menu, and this time we will enter the choice as a 5, and then we will enter a correct book id. Okay, so here let's enter the book id as a 12. So now see here the flag is become true now. Okay, now it will come here set the status as available, it will return this book, display all the book details. Okay, So this is the flow of book management application. I hope you have understood all the details. Okay, so we have covered all the five operations. Also we have covered how we can use the pattern class. So this is the validator class. In this validator class we have used these patterns for the id validation, then author and title validation, and for the publisher validation. Okay, and in the book service implementation class, here when we are showing all the book details, that time we have used this format method, so that our book details should be displayed in some format. Okay, and to display the text or the messages in different colors, we have used the color codes. So this way we have covered all the 4 points we have mentioned in the start that we are going to cover in this video, and I hope you have understood all the points. If you have any questions, you can ask in the comment section, and I will attach the link in the description for the source code as well, so that you can cross verify your code. Okay, so thank you for watching. If you like this video, please share with your friends and don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thank you.